Breaking! Something's brewing behind the scenes in the NFL, and the Eagles are at the center of it. Tanner McKee could be traded, and the deal involves a big name. But my friend, what does this really mean for the Eagles' future? I've got first-hand information on what's at stake, and I'm going to tell you everything. Before anything else, like and subscribe, because this trade could change the season's rumor mill in a huge way. The John Mechie III era has officially begun in Philadelphia, and the city is already buzzing with anticipation surrounding the young wide receiver. But the big question looming over Eagles fans is straightforward. What will his role truly be on this talent-laden roster? This question grew stronger during this week's practice sessions, when Mechie donned the green and white uniform for the first time and showed flashes of eye-catching skill, while also hinting that he still has a long road ahead of him. The atmosphere was one of debut, of introduction, almost as if it were the first chapter of a book with an open ending. And that's precisely what kept the fans on their toes. Right off the bat, Mechie didn't limit himself to lining up as a receiver. The young man dared to try his hand at punt returns, a role he'd never played before in the NFL. This curiosity could be a significant asset in gaining ground in a time that demands depth and flexibility from each player. Just imagine, in addition to contributing to the aerial attack, Mechie could also become a surprise weapon in special moments. For the coaches, this opens up possibilities. For the fans, it heightens curiosity about how he'll be used. And while the debut showed flashes of talent, it also reminded everyone that the process of development is complete. In one of the most talked about plays, Mechie shone, catching a well-placed ball from Kyle McCord, drawing applause from the sidelines. But then, on the second play, he let the ball slip from his hands, a mistake that quickly served as a reminder. Adapting to the NFL doesn't happen overnight. The message was clear. There's potential, but there are also setbacks. The Eagles' current situation has created even more room for Mechie to attract attention. With A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith temporarily sidelined with injuries, the rookie has gained valuable snaps and the chance to show he can be more than just a replacement. The challenge now is to convince Mechie that his talent isn't limited to moments when stars aren't available, but rather that he can become a reliable asset, whether as a third option in the passing attack or in specific situations designed to exploit his speed and short routes. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo was quick to emphasize that Mechie isn't starting from scratch. His college experience at Alabama, alongside established NFL names, gives him a solid foundation to absorb the Eagles' playbook more quickly. This connection with the offensive system could be the factor that accelerates his integration, especially at a time when immediate action and consistent results are sought. For fans, the question is simple, yet shared with excitement. Could John Mechie III be Philadelphia's next breakout star? With a star-studded roster expected to contend for the NFC's top spot, the idea of a new talent emerging as a surprise excites any fan. For now, the debut was just a taste, but if this week's practices are any indication, Mechie's journey with the Eagles promises to be closely watched. Play by play, mistake by mistake, brilliance by brilliance. And while Mechie's arrival generates anticipation on offense, behind the scenes, a potential trade could completely change the future of the most important position on the roster. Philadelphia is at the center of a major debate that could change the course of the season. Backup quarterback Tanner McKee is playing a key role in the Eagles' game, and what seemed like a mere sixth-round pick in the 2023 draft could now become a significant asset for Howie Roseman. But the question is McKee worth keeping, or is it time to capitalize on his rising value and make a strategic trade? McKee's name is being circulated in reports indicating he may be involved in a trade with the Indianapolis Colts, with a high-impact trade on the horizon. And when we talk about a high-impact trade, we're talking about a big name, quarterback Anthony Richardson, a first-round pick in the 2023 draft. The trade proposal may seem bold, but with McKee's rising value and the uncertainty surrounding Richardson's future in Indianapolis, this transaction is starting to make sense. So, how does this fit into Howie Roseman's strategy? Trading McKee for Richardson could be a bold but extremely smart move for the Eagles. Richardson has the kind of athletic talent that can be a game changer and a great student under Jalen Hurts. This trade creates room for Richardson to develop into the franchise's future QB, while McKee, who was drafted as a sixth-round pick, is increasingly valued as teams begin to recognize his potential. McKee's value has been diminished by growing dissatisfaction with Richardson's performance with the Colts. Anthony Richardson, the former Florida star, arrived in the NFL with high expectations, but injuries and performance issues have affected his standing with the team. The Colts appear increasingly inclined to change their strategy, which opens a window for the Eagles to consider a profitable trade. The big question is, should the Eagles bet on Richardson's potential for the future? What would the Eagles gain from this trade? If McKee were to be traded for Richardson, the Eagles would not only be getting rid of a promising backup quarterback, but they could also secure a future quarterback for the franchise. Richardson, at 6'4" and 245 pounds, is a true physical monster with athleticism that many believe believe will make him one of the top prospects at the position if properly trained. Under Hurts's supervision, he could learn the ropes and improve in a championship atmosphere like the Eagles. This trade would be a long-term move, creating a solid line of succession for the quarterback position in Philadelphia. But here's the crucial point for Eagles fans. Richardson could be a long-term project. Teams still see great potential in the quarterback, and the possibility of him becoming a star cannot be ignored. However, Richardson's recent track record, as he struggles to establish himself in the NFL, raises questions about his readiness to take on a lead role, especially in an already competitive Eagles situation. Is he ready to succeed Jalen Hurts? On the other hand, if the Eagles decided to keep McKee, they would be preserving a solid backup option. But at what cost? Keeping McKee could avoid the risk of a trade, but it also means giving up the potential of a young QB who has everything to thrive under Hurts' leadership. This situation raises another important question. Will McKee adapt to the pressures of the NFL? While Richardson continues to fight for his position with the Colts, McKee has shown increasing performance in practice, albeit with limitations. Interestingly, McKee has shown consistency, while Richardson still seems to have a long way to go. If McKee is traded, could he reach his peak more quickly in a new system? Eagles fans will have to keep an eye on Howie Roseman's every move, as this decision could be crucial for the long-term future of the team. Will Philadelphia take a bold step and secure a QB with immense potential, or opt for the stability McKee offers as a backup? The answer to this question could define the future of the team and the team's balance for years to come. But it's not just the offense and quarterback positions where rumors are raging, because on the other side of the ball, a big name is beginning to emerge as a direct target for management. And finally, a name that could cause a lot of heartache: Trey Hendrickson. The Cincinnati Bengals pass rusher is in a delicate situation, with contract negotiations on hold. And now, NFL teams are beginning to wonder, could the Eagles attempt a trade to secure an elite player like Hendrickson to bolster their defense? The deal wouldn't be simple. The Bengals demanded a high price, possibly including a young defensive player and a first-round pick. But Hendrickson, with his experience and impressive 17.5 sacks last season, would be a significant addition. Nevertheless, this trade seems promising, especially considering the Eagles' recent strategy of focusing on younger players with potential for growth. With John Mechie III joining the Eagles, the potential trade of Tanner McKee to the Colts, and the impact of a Trey Hendrickson trade, which delivery do you think could be the most decisive for the Eagles' future season? Will Mechie shine right away, or will the McKee trade lead to an even bigger turnaround? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.